You guys like pasta, right? I knew it. But not everybody. You don't like pasta? How many are avoiding pasta because they're afraid of the carbs? Raise your hand. That is so funny. Okay, so anyway, well, I'm glad you're not. So pasta, as you know, it's like one of those things. We're using whole wheat pasta today, so there's a lot of fiber, but pasta should not be the main dish. It really is meant to, my family's Italian, it's actually meant to be sort of the appetizer, and then you go to the main meal. Unfortunately, Americans now eat it as the main dish, and that becomes, a bit of a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to try a recipe called Pasta and Peas, and it's going to use all fresh ingredients. And Molly is going to be reading she's going to be reading from Appetite for Life, which is a book that I wrote. I have a program called HealthBarn USA on farms in New Jersey and Westchester, and we teach kids to grow their own food, learn about nutrition, cook. And so the recipe in here is really simple. A lot of people think that healthy eating is really complicated and it takes too long. But it actually, I've been timed. Last week I was timed and I did a mac and cheese in 13 minutes. And today's recipe I did in, I think it was 13 or 14. So you guys somebody can time me. You want to time me? Okay, so anyway, we're going to get started with olive oil. How many of you cook with olive oil? Raise your hand. HealthBarn, and olive oil does anybody, I'm a nutritionist, so I normally don't tell anybody that because then they don't want to eat with me. But, so I'm just telling you. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to do some quizzes on nutrition and see how smart you guys are, nutrition IQ. So what is the fat that's in olive oil that is so good for your heart? Does anybody know? A type of fat. It's a monounsaturated fat, which means it has 1 point of unsaturation and it goes through your arteries really quickly. So it doesn't get stuck like the saturated fats, if you can imagine it. So we're going to use olive oil. We're going to use and you want to use a cold pressed olive oil. So, because once the heat is applied to the olive oil, it starts to break it down. So the whole point of you buying the oil and then heating it is really not a great thing. But you want to cook it at a medium temperature as well. Because if you ever saw with olive oil, it doesn't have a high smoke point. So if you have it on medium, and then all of a sudden you start to see it smoking, that's actually carcinogenic, and that's not something you want to do. Okay, so just FYI. And if you have a very high quality olive oil, you definitely don't want to be heating it because you're going to break it down. So you want to actually use it as a finishing oil on salads and things like that because there's no point. If you have a really expensive olive oil, you want to do that. So I'm going to use. How many of you guys use onions to actually flavor things? Okay, great. Now onions have a lot of really healthy properties in them, besides actually using things to flavor it. It's very good for your liver. Believe it or not, it's incredibly high in vitamin C, and it's got a lot of antioxidant vitamins that actually help to detox. So a lot of people are detoxing these days with juicing. I don't know anyone that's juicing with onions. So you can cook with onions and it's just as good. But it's one of those things that it's really a super, does anyone grow onions? Does anybody have a garden? Okay, great. So onions aren't that easy to grow. At HealthBarn, we usually grow scallions or chives. Does anybody grow chives? Chives are like super easy to grow. Okay, Molly, what's the next ingredient?
We are going to add in garlic.
Okay, so garlic, interestingly enough, is a very easy thing to grow. And a farmer just told me, and I just had a young lady, believe it or not, I think she's 10. A farmer just told me that if you have a sore throat coming on, you should just slightly suck on the garlic, like chew it up so that you get the allicin, is the actual property in the garlic, and then let it drip down, and keep it in your mouth for like a half hour. The next morning you will not have a sore throat. I don't know if that's true, but this young lady came back and asked me for a clove, and I said sure. I don't think she's kissing anybody, but so anyway. Okay, Smiley, what's next?
We're adding in our 2 chopped tomatoes, a 1/4 cup of water.
Okay, great. So does anybody know what's in a tomato that's good for you? It's a nutrient. It starts with the L, the letter L. Does anybody know? Lycopene. Very good. Are you a nutritionist? No. Okay. Lycopene actually is anti-cancer. So it's extremely protective out even more. So I'm trying to create, like instead of this thick red sauce, you can see I'm doing something really light. And I'm using fresh tomatoes as opposed to canned. Okay, so Molly, what's up next?
Salt, pepper, and oregano.
Okay, so does anybody use sea salt? Raise your hand. Do you use sea salt? Okay, so sea salt, a lot of people cook with kosher salt, but sea salt actually has less sodium in it. And so it's a better choice. And so it's got the minerals in it as well. So if you could just switch over to sea salt, it actually would be a healthier choice. Okay, than sea salt. Than kosher salt. Okay, Molly, what's up next?
Your oregano.
Okay, so oregano. How many people think this looks like oregano? I was like, there's no way this is oregano. When Christine walked in, I was like, what is that? And I've grown oregano for a long time. So anyway, believe it or not, if you guys want to, we can pass the leaves around. What you need to do to smell an herb is you rub the leaf and you get the oil of the leaf on your fingers and then you smell. And it definitely is oregano if you smell this. Check it out. So I'm going to put some fresh oregano in from the hydroponic farm, which is pretty fun, right? This is the best part of growing your own food. Even if you can't grow veggies, herbs on the windowsill, if you live in New York City, it's always a great thing. Okay, Molly, what's up?
Our pasta and peas.
Okay, so we would normally put, it would be great if you went to a farmer's market and got fresh peas, and then you could actually shell the peas. And if you have kids are really great shelling. They're great at shelling peas. It's fun. It's so fun. So today we're going to use a frozen pea, and peas have something in them that's good for your tummy. Does anybody know what that would be? It starts with an F. Anybody know? Fiber. Yep. Very high in fiber. It's like 35% of the daily value for fiber. It also has a lot of B vitamins. Peas are like a superfood. You could throw it in anything, and it just really enhances it. And then what we're going to do is 2 cups of pasta. I said that we were using a whole wheat pasta, and so I'm putting the cooked pasta, directly into the skillet here. Okay. And then I'm going to just saute that so we get some really nice flavor. And then, is it mozzarella cheese?
Mozzarella and parm.
Okay, so kids really love, if you have a pasta dish and you don't have cheese in there, it's like a no-go. So what we do is we use a low-fat mozzarella, which is right here, and I believe the recipe calls for a 1/3 cup. So then you're not getting the saturated fat, because this is very high in saturated fat. And I'm never going to eliminate mozzarella, but you can do it at a taste. That you still get the taste of mozzarella, but you don't need all the fat that comes with it. Okay, so it's all about moderation. It's not about elimination, it's about moderation. And then the Parmesan, which is so delicious, it's actually, there's an Italian woman that usually volunteers here, and she said that if you see this piece right here on the fresh cut, she uses the rind in soup. Yeah. So everybody throws it out, but you could actually throw it in a vegetable soup. So we're going to put some parm in here, because what doesn't taste good Parmesan cheese, but not a lot. And that's it. This is the dish. So did you time me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I thought you were going to time me. So it's probably like 15 minutes. And you guys are going to laugh about this, but Georgia also told me that the white pasta, I have to share this because I was like, what? I never heard this. But she said that white pasta with butter and cheese in Italy is called the cheating wife's pasta, because then you didn't really make the meal. So when you come home and your wife hands you the butter and cheese pasta, you're thinking, oh my God, should I be worried? So anyway, but you can make this simply, see how I just threw the peas in there with the tomatoes, and we're gonna see what the kids think. You guys are my biggest, toughest crowd, right? So we're gonna hand out some samples right now. And thank you so much. The recipe is in my book called Appetite for Life, on sale in the bookstore. So if you get a copy, I'm happy to sign it for you guys today. Thank you so much.